Tube. It is April 17th, Wednesday, and it is a beautiful sunny day in Lehi, Utah. It's about 53 degrees and partly cloudy. Just absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, I'm Colette, the Highway Stitcher, and I'm here to bring you my stitching from home, and also from Stitchnanigans retreat and all that happened there. I want to first say, though, before I go into all the other things, is that thank you so much for all the comments that you gave me, how you were concerned and prayerful, and your thoughts and prayers were with me with my TIA mini stroke that I had a few weeks ago. I'm so grateful for that. It gave me a lot of peace. It gave me a lot of strength, and I started really feeling better like a day or two before heading to the retreat, and I believe that it's your thoughts and prayers that went into a lot of that, because stitchers are just amazing people, and I really appreciate them. Thanks so much. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to leave all the Stitchnanigan retreat video part and telling you all what I got and what I did till the end of the video, in case you've already gotten inundated with too many Stitchnanigan videos. But I do want to say what I got there and what I did, and my haul, my SAG GIF, and that kind of stuff. But I'll start out with my regular update, my whips, my monthly haul, and also what my plans are. So I'll do that first and then move on to Stitchnanigans. So anyway, first, my monthly haul. I just get floss of the month, so you're probably aware of what I have, but I'd like to show it off anyway. I get the monthly haul threads from Julie at Gulf Coast Stitches, and she gives a variety of threads that she sends. And this month she gave me a couple from Ship's Manor. I think that was about it. We have a lavender parasol and a dried mint. She also gave a couple, 3 weeks dye works threads this time. We have Wisteria, Sweetheart Rose, and Glacial Melt. Pretty colors. And then the rest that were left were Classic Colorworks. And what we have are Pumpkin Harvest, Sweetest Heart, Really Tealy, Thunderbird, and Zach Black. Zach Black. I have a grandson named Zach, and he spells it the same way too. So he would say that this is his floss if he saw Grandma doing this. Anyway, that's the Zach Black, kind of a gray black. But those are some nice colors too. And then Crazy Annie's Club, I'm getting the color in cotton. And these are the brights for this month. Some beautiful, beautiful brights. Like we've got here a lagoon, a Bing cherry. I mean, just some gorgeous, gorgeous colors. This yellow is a egg yolk. Then we got a flamingo. We're good for all you flamingo lovers. And an avocado. So there's some pretty colors there. And then the primitive colors are nice also this month. We have Hazel Brown, London Fog, Chai, Bronze, and Kalamata. I love Kalamata olives. So those are them for this month. So those are my monthly, that's my monthly hauls that I get every month. So anyway, I'm going to go on to my whips this last week. I did a video last week, so I don't have as much time in between the videos. But I did work on some of my whips. And on the way to Arizona, I worked on the Peacock Garden, which is way over here. I will go get it. I was trying to keep Stitchnanigan things and whips kind of separated, because I thought, oh brother, I'm going to end up like trying to pull this stuff up and I'm going to get it all mixed up. But I guess everybody else probably does too. So anyway, this is Peacock Garden. And I took it off the Q-snaps this time. Almost done with the finish on the second block. So, not doing too bad. There's Mr. Peacock and the second block, working on it. I got to the other two corners. And they are done. It's done on a 28 count ivory Jobelin. I've mentioned that before, but I always have to look at it each time. I've been forgetting things more now since I had my health scare, so I have to write everything down. And the DMC color is 3765, which is like a medium peacock blue. So anyway, he's coming along, Mr. Peacock. When I went to the retreat, I decided to work on the Mayflower landing piece that I want to get done for the 400th anniversary of the landing of the Mayflower in 2020. And so I ended up bringing that piece to work on during Stitchnanigans. Of course, since you know that most of the time you end up just talking, gabbing, and frogging, I didn't get too much done on it. But I did do a little. I did a couple more of those flowers on the border. I did the pot, which I haven't done yet, and also this little part of the green here and the start on another flower. It's not a whole lot for the 2.5 days, but actually for all the frogging I was doing, it wasn't too bad. And you know something? This is on Oaken 28 count. Picture this plus, and it's the called for over-dyed threads, fancy threads. Okay, Colette, say it right. I am really, really happy with that color. I actually think it looks tons better than the color on the actual pattern. And tons different too. And that's the comments I was getting at Stitchnanigans. Everybody was just going, those colors don't look the same at all. And the only thing I can figure is, you know, there's always the overdyeds and they're a little different colors, which that could be it. But it could also be the choice of the fabric too. Their fabric was a putty linen from Zweigart. And I ended up using, of course, this really mottled, darker color. But, oh man, I love it. I'm very, very happy with how it's turning out. Really happy. So that's what I worked on at Stitchnanigans. I did work on A Savior's Praise, and I've been working on it this week since it's coming up to Easter, and I thought it would be a good time to work on it, appropriate time. Brian at Blitz Stitch even mentioned that he was going to start working on it for Easter week. So anyway, I did do a little bit more, mostly some of the border here and the letters, started the letters, and a couple other leaves, I believe. So and I'm doing this on 40 count Newcastle flax with all the called for DMC conversion. And I really like the way it's turning out. It's a beautiful pattern. A lot of you have seen it. And I'm working on this part right up here. So anyway, I'll continue working on that this week. The title for my Floss Tube this week is Stitchnanigans. I can't believe I got the SAG Margaret Bag, which I will go on into when I go into Stitchnanigans. And then the last part of my title is Who is Lina Lamont? This is going to take, and what does Lina Lamont have to do with stitching? Okay. Anyway, I'll tell you the story of Lina and why this is Lina. Try to hold this back. This is a huge piece. This is actually called Delaware Inspiration by Therese Baird. It's a piece I did a long, 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 long time ago. It was like one of my first samplers when I really probably shouldn't have been doing samplers. And I was just stupid enough to think I could do them good. So anyway, just a little preface on why I'm saying this is Lina is right up here. And right down here, this whole box with the grapevines, the green, my name, and the little butterfly are all over 1 in 36 count. Now, as a first-time stitcher, was I a little dumb for doing that? Yeah, probably. Anyway, I worked on all of this sampler. Really had an enjoyable time working on it until I got to the over 1. And I struggled. I slopped along. I stopped, I ripped out, I tried it again. I just, finally, I couldn't stand it. I hated it, hated it, hated it. So I just set it down and left it. I don't know, probably for several years, because I couldn't stand doing the over 1. So anyway, during our January stitch-in Utah, if any of you know Brenda of Handwork Maniac, you also know her daughter, Boss Daughter. And Boss Daughter, for Brenda, a lot of times will take her pieces and do parts of them that she doesn't like borders. Brenda doesn't like some borders, other things, you know, Catherine will say, oh, I'll go do that for you. Well, when I was at the stitch-in, I thought to myself, I wonder if Catherine would be interested in doing this border. I mean, not border, this enclosed part of over 1. So I asked her, I told her, I said, I'm never going to finish this piece. I only have just a little bit left to do, and I'm never going to finish it unless I find someone to do the over 1, because I hate it that much. And I did mention to her that there are a couple other parts in this that aren't done yet. As you can see, this opening right here on this side and also on the other, those aren't done. Those are French knots, but I have no problem with French knots at all. In fact, I enjoy doing them. So, but I left them for the end because I have to do it in hand and I don't want to put the Q-snaps on it. And then I also left the fill-in of the border, which is a satin stitch border, to the end because I'll have to do that in hand also. But I told Catherine, I said, don't bother with the satin stitch or the French knots. I'm perfectly happy doing those. But please, please, would you be willing or interested in doing lower 1 in that box? And she goes, sure. She says, I haven't picked my other piece yet I'm going to do. I'm not sure which one. You know, so she says, I'll go ahead and do it. So let me explain to you why this ended up being called Lina. If any of you are familiar with old musicals, there's one that's called Singing in the Rain. And what I'm going to be telling you now, some of you are going to just know the whole story anyway, but I have to explain it if you don't. Anyway, there are like four main characters in the movie, and it takes place during the silent time of movies, just as it's moving to talkies, to sound pictures. And Gene Kelly plays Don Lockwood, and he's like a major movie star. Lina Lamont is like the silent movie star. And then Kathy Selden is the young girl that he falls in love with, who ends up being a movie star herself. And then Cosmo is his friend, his partner. Anyway, Lina Lamont may look like she's just this beautiful, beautiful movie star, gorgeous, everything else. But she has the absolutely worst grating voice you've ever heard in your life. Absolutely, it's just like scraping on the fingernails on the chalk. So anyway, Don Lockwood ended up coming up with an idea of having Kathy, his girlfriend, when the talking pictures started, they tried to do the talking pictures with Lina, and she sounded horrible. So Don Lockwood said, oh, well, let's substitute Kathy's voice for Lina's for all the music and all the talking, and it'll sound really good. And they used to do that when they first started the talking pictures. They used to do like subbing people's voices and everything. And so Catherine and Brenda mentioned on, I guess, 2 videos ago, they were laughing and saying that they go, oh, Colette does do her own stitching. She's not a Lina Lamont. She doesn't do the part and then somebody else does the background for her. And so that's where the whole joke came in and the whole name for this piece. This is Lina now, Miss Lina. And yes, I did do most of her stitching. Please, I did. I only didn't do just that little part of over 1. And I don't think that's 1/4 of it. So I think I did more than 1/4. So anyway, Catherine and Brenda, I'm going to finish this piece. And it's going to be done. And we can call it Lina Lamont forever and a day. So anyway, you guys are too funny. So she will be Miss Lina, and I intend on having her done by the end of 2019. There's another one like Mayflower, because Catherine put in Anno Domini 2019 finished. Yeah, you think I need to have it finished, so I better have it finished. So anyway, that's the story of Miss Lina. So, if you guys just want to be done now and move on, if you're sick and tired of Stitchnanigan, all the things people did at Stitchnanigans in Arizona at the retreat, you may move on to something else. I really don't have any lace things this week because I was gone pretty much there, and really only did stitching or that kind of things. Not any lace stuff. So I'm going to see if I can move on to Stitchnanigans and see if I forget anything. One thing I'm going to bring up before I forget it is there's one thing I can't find, and I searched my purse, I searched my stitching bag, everywhere, and I can't find that little crystal that everybody's been showing that McKenna got at the San Fran Opera House, which I'm crushed. But if that's the only thing I lost, that's pretty good for me. I looked through my purse, through my stitching bag, everything, and I can't seem to find it. But it's possible that it might be in like one of my Ziploc stitching bags. Maybe I just threw it in there just so I wouldn't, you know, like lose it or something. So if I run across it later, I'll let you guys know that I ran across it later. But you've probably seen it in most of the videos anyway. But I just want to mention that I did get it. It's just that I lost it somewhere. So anyway, I'm going to show pictures at the end of my video of Stitchnanigans and my trip there and what happened to me there. And some pictures I took. I wasn't really good about taking pictures. Just like Christine said, it's like you get all involved in it and then you forget about taking pictures. And I ended up having to leave Sunday morning. Chris and I had to get back, so since he was driving me. So I ended up not being able to say goodbye to a lot of people. So I'm sorry for that to all of you that I didn't get to say goodbye more. Anyway, we left on Wednesday morning early. We left and it was snowed. Typical Utah weather. You wait 5 minutes and it's a snowstorm or it's sunny. And so it snowed all the way from Lehi, which is northern Utah, all the way down to St. George. Well, maybe Cedar City. And then it finally stopped. On our way there, we stopped at lunch at one of our favorite places, which is called Clough's. It's a little tiny drive-in. And I had a maple nut shake. Oh, it was so good. It was to die for. They had the greatest shakes. And then we went on, and there was beautiful weather from southern Utah on. And we went down through Vegas, down into Henderson. I've got pictures of Lake Mead and Colorado River. Of course, you can't really get any good pictures of Boulder Dam because they have a really high barrier across the big bridge that they have now, so you have to go off. But got pictures of the Colorado River and Lake Mead, pictures of our Route 66 stop, our first night, which was an old hotel that had been built a long time ago but kept up, and there have been a lot of famous people who had stopped there for Route 66. And You know, it had all the things on the walls, so that was really fun for me because I'm a Route 66 junkie roadie. Anytime I get a chance to go on old Route 66, I love to do it. I have Route 66 sign on my sticker on my Mini Cooper. My parents took me on Route 66 every year. As I was growing up, I just loved the Mother Road, and I could tell you all about it. Anytime anyone wants to hear about the Mother Road, I can tell you. We also, after we stayed at the hotel that night, the next day we got up and headed down Highway 93, which is a cutoff from Route 66, the Freeway 40, which takes you down, angles down to Phoenix. Got to see all the fun cactus. I love the saguaro cactus. Not sure if that's how you say it. There's ones that look like old men with their arms up and all that kind of stuff, all the fun shapes. And we stopped at a place called Burrow Creek. Beautiful, beautiful. Way down, nobody was there hardly. A beautiful creek through there with water because the weather has been tons better than rain. So that was really fun doing that. And so it was a really nice trip down. I couldn't have been better. Chris did my driving and felt really good, you know, health-wise. So I guess what I'll do first is we stopped at the Attic first, which is the needlework store down there in Arizona. Like everybody else, they said that it was about 10 minutes from the actual hotel, which it is. It's very close. Attic is a very large needlework shop and has so many goodies and so many great patterns all over the walls. Everything's just beautiful, beautiful. So anyway, first though, before I get into what I bought at the Attic, which I probably overspent, but anyway, Christine of Stitch All the Things met me at the Attic, and when we were probably about 3/4 of the way done, and I'll tell you the story that has to go with this bag. If any of you know this fabric, this is Blackbird fabric. Blackbird Designs fabric. It was made a number of years ago and isn't really available anymore. Here's the one side. Here's the other side. Christine stitched this for me. And the whole story about it is I don't do hardly any sewing. I mean, I do a little bit of sewing, but not much. And I'd had this Blackbird fabric sitting around for a long, long time. And I thought, you know, it's going to be sitting around forever and nothing's going to get done with it. So finally I decided it needs to be given away to somebody who likes to sew and who is going to sew something with it. So the person I thought of was Christine. I thought she would be perfect. She loves to sew bags. But I gave her a caveat. I said, you have to make yourself a bag with this fabric. I said, I don't want you making a bag to put on your D-stash. I said, this is for you. So make yourself a bag. So she comes in to the attic and we're talking a little bit, and then she says, well, I'm not going to buy anything this time. I'm going to be good. But she says, I have something for you out in the car. Well, I had something out in the car for her too, just a few little goodies of things that I knew she liked. And so I got them and I gave them to her, and then she gave me the bag. When I got to the hotel, I opened the gift. And at first, I went, oh my God, she made me a bag with the Blackbird fabric. And look at the cute, like, sparkly bottom. And look at the inside of it. Beautiful, beautiful fabric. And she used some of the fabric from Blackbird inside for, like, little pockets. Ah! So, of course, I'm running around the hotel room. I don't do it in front of people, but I do it in front of Chris. And he just laughs. He goes, people are going to think you don't even care about what you get. You only do it in front of me. And I go, I know, I get all kind of like shy around other people. But anyway, I'm running around the room going, oh my God, she sold me a bag with a Blackbird fabric. And then the next thing, after I thought of that, I thought, I'm going to hit you over the head with this bag, Christine, because I told you to make yourself a bag. You a bag for yourself. So after I went down to the beginning of our retreat, and I saw Christine, and I thanked her for the bag, and I said, where is your bag? And she said, well, I kind of got busy. She says, I am making one for myself. It just isn't done yet. And I said, well, okay, but you better make one for yourself because that's why I gave you the fabric. So anyway, she claims she has one, so, and I'm sure she does, and I'm sure she just wanted to have all the rest done. The Margaret bag she worked on, which was so absolutely gorgeous, and this and whatever other gifts she did for the raffle. She did gifts for the raffle and things too, and that is just absolutely wonderful, and she's such a sweetheart. But I expect her to show me her gift bag for herself. So anyway, Christine, if you watch this video, you have to show me that you made it, because that's why I gave you the fabric. Anyway, when I first got to the attic, though, before this bag, Chris and I went looking around, and it was just amazing. That's one store. I don't know the word for it, but it's crazy. And so it made it kind of hard because Chris is going, oh, I really like this pattern. And of course, I'm looking around at pictures on the wall of things that were made, and I go, oh, I really like this pattern. And so we ended up like getting a lot of stuff because Chris wanted me to make things for him, and there were things that I wanted to make. So anyway, this will take a little bit of time to go through, but some I was enabled by one other person who was there at the same time, Marcy. Shame on you if you're watching this video, Marcy Thiessen, Artsy Marcy, because she was pulling out these little kits by Chessie and me, where it has the fabric and the silk floss with it. Cute little kits. And saying, oh, aren't these cute? I'm going to get these. These are so cute. So, of course, I had to get some, too. This is 1776 Harbor. And I think these are on 40 count. Either 40 count or 36 count. I better look and see. Marcy's apt to tell me, you didn't look at the count. Oh, it's 36 count. This one's 36 count vintage pear, Lakeside Linens. So I think that's going to be really pretty. And then I also got another one, kind of another Liberty one. This one's called American Coast. I just love that sailboat and the flag and the house and the hill. That is just so cool. And these are some of the silk flosses that came with it. So these are just such fun kits. So I'm hoping to get maybe some of them done to give out as gifts or something else. So I was justified to get them. Chris fell in love with this blackbird design, bird in hand. It's actually pincushion, but what he would like me to do is mirror image it and have two blackbirds looking at each other in a different color. He likes like Delft blues, things like that. So I said, sure, I'll do that for you if you like that. Blackbird designs are always good. So anyway, that was one he fell in love with. He also liked this one. This was a new one by Pineberry Lane. It's called Wool and Flax, with the sheep and the shepherd. He likes sheep just like you, Melanie, of Yarns and Threads. So, not sure what I'm going to do with it, though, because I don't think he wants it in a purse. So, I'll have to ask him if he wants it framed or whatever. This one I like. Been feeling kind of like, with my health issues, I've been feeling, doing a lot of praying and things lately, and so I saw this Silver Creek sampler. I didn't actually see it before during market. I must have missed it. Anyway, this one is the Lord is my shepherd. It says, the Lord my shepherd is, I shall be well supplied, since he is mine and I am his, what can I want beside? So it's kind of a take on the Lord is Shepherd Psalm. And then it has your name on the bottom. It says, Diane Crack is my name, and with my needle I wrought the same. I like Silver Creek, and I really like that one. So that's one I picked. This is one Chris picked. He really liked these Fractor Friends, which is one of Paulette Stewart's Plum Creek sampler, one of her new ones, which is kind of cute. I like it too. So I said, sure, Put it in the basket. I'll make it for you. And then he saw another sheepies that he liked, and I do like artful offerings. I made that horse, that Christmas horse, so I do like artful offerings. This is called Woolly Woolly, I think. Yeah, Woolly Woolly, like the song. And it says Woolly Woolly Farmstead. Artful offerings, they have such great things. Okay, and then of course Christine enabled me because I hadn't seen the Elizabeth Furnace sampler. And is it that one? Oh, no. This is the one that Christine enabled me on. It's the Alice Sarah Dennis 1834, a Norfolk sampler by Mill on the Floss Samplers. I did like, you know, those little creatures down at the bottom, whatever they are, and the little deer. I'm not a big Adam and Eve fan, but I've been known to change things out, so I could possibly change that out. But I do love the colors in this. You can see the colors are just really neat. Don't know what some of these little creatures are, like these bugs and things like that, but it's really a neat pattern. So I got that. Okay, this one here was enabled by Marcy, and we've decided we're going to do a stitch along together, Marcy Thiessen and I, because we saw this up on the wall done, and this picture does not do it justice at all, and I had never even noticed this Hands Across the Sea sampler, and Marcy had said the same. And the called for fabric is a vintage sand dune, and it is just so vibrant up on the wall, so absolutely beautiful with it and those those bright flowers and the patchwork looking grass, which is fun anyway, because then you aren't doing all the same grass all the time. And she fell in love with it. She got me to fall in love with it, except for, of course, Adam and Eve, which I may change out. But I just really, really like this, and she did too. So we're going to start gathering together our threads, and it's not like a start right away type of thing, but we want to do a stitch along together on this. So thanks, Marcy, for the enabling. And then Chris found this one when we were standing in line. It's called Jesus Wept. It's by Scarlet Letter, and it's an old one. It was done in 1995. And it's a rare two-sided miniature sampler of 1820. It has the, let's see if I can show this with it. It has the one side of it, which has like peacocks, hearts, trees, and bright colors. And then it has writing about the Lord on the back. And they had put it two-sided in the original 1821. They had two-sided it. But I was thinking I was either going to put it on one piece, or I was going to, you know, put two and have two, frame it in two pictures. So I had to think about that. I'm forgetting words, and since my health issues. But anyway, I'm going to keep on pressing on because I still want to do Floss Tube, even with messing up my words. Okay, I also got some little things too. I got these Cross Stitch Nation Heartstring Samplery sticker sheets. I didn't take them out of the sheet, but they are so cute. It's like stickers, all different stickers from like different patterns. Fell in love with that. I got myself a autumn corner gauge with the pumpkins, fall leaves. I like that. This is the freebie one that Addie gave us for all coming to the attic. A freebie corner gauge. These are cross stitch. There's cross stitch inside the pendant, so I got one that's is C for my name. I'm not as jazzed about the color of the chain. It really doesn't match it good, but I figured I do a lot of beading, a lot of needlework. I mean, a lot of like bead weaving and making necklaces and things, so I can I can change out the necklace part of it just fine. And I really liked the stitching in it. I thought that was really pretty. I could wear that to retreats or to my stitch things with my friends. And then Chris fell in love with this. It's like a little stitching bag. He loves chickens. There's that chicken with a counting pin. Inside is cute with a little pocket and the cute fabric inside. And this cute little pull with a little chicken and a key lock on it. And then the little little baby chick thread keep. And then a little needle case. So he goes, oh, get this, please. I really like this. I go, well, yeah, I like it too. So anyway, maybe I better start going to retreats again without Chris, though, because I bought a lot of stuff. But I like it. So, and he does too. So anyway, it was good for both of us, I think. And I can't wait to make some of the things for him too. Okay, let me see if I got all through the haul for the attic. Yeah, I think I did. Okay, I'm going to go on to, let's see. Well, I'm going to go on to the freebie table, which is a bunch more patterns. So, sorry you have to sit through patterns again. But you might see something you like. So, I found this R&R Reproductions. Home of the Brave. I like that. This one is Beyond Just Cross Stitch. I hadn't heard of that. Richard Fulgham. It's called Watching the Flock. I didn't show this to Chris, but I think he would really like this. It says, watch your flock as the father watches his flock. It's like a little Amish one. Also found this Teresa Wenzel. I do like her carousel horses. So I like that one. So I picked that one up. It's called Chestnut. They have like several, but this one's called Chestnut. Sam Sarah always has cute things. This one was there at the freebie table called Spookline. And all the ghost pumpkins. This is a Cross My Heart design book. This is from a long time ago. I probably saw this at the stores back when I was first stitching. I think it's like 1990. Wait, let's see. Well, 1999. So it wasn't that long ago. But I fell in love with this first pattern here. It's about it's the St. Patrick saying, Christ be with me, Christ before me. And they did it in like 2 different colorways. They did it in this white, which is on the back, and then they did it in like a black, and I really like that black. Also, I like the black with these little Celtic ones down here too. So I picked this one up too. This is called the City Stitcher. It's Nabby's Garden Sampler. I have some ideas on that. I think I'm going to do it in different thread colors and different fabric, but I do like that. Just a little garden sampler. Chris liked this one when I showed it to him. It's a Toile Blue Pheasant. There were several of them on the table. Again, I think I'm going to do this in like a different solid color and a different fabric. I think this one could look really neat. A little different looking than this with the colors and the fabric. But it's a neat looking bird. This one is called, this is Dames of the Needle, Deer in Grass. I thought that was a cute little one. This is Ship's Manor, Gardening Spinsters. A garden grows from a single seed. Hard work and faith are all we need. A cherished rose and a bit of earth. A fragrant bud is a garden's birth. So, I like that one. I like gardening. This is Stitcher's Okay, Colette, say it again. Stitcher's Alphabet. It's designed by Carolyn Webb, who I do actually know personally. I always kind of like this pattern with all the different needlework tools on it. And again, this is one that I would do a little differently, color and fabric. But I do like it. I always have. I mean, just all her different. She has one for every alphabet, like all and Zari embroidery, which is a type of embroidery from India. Victoria and Albert, a fantastic museum in England. You know, Queen Stitch, a type of stitch. So she has every single alphabet with like a needlework, you know, with needlework. So I like that. Along Memory Lane. This is Gloria and Pat. I like those little houses. To me, that's timeless. I have the night went on like a dark fabric and the day went on a light fabric. But to me, those houses are just timeless. So I picked that one up too. So that's my, oh, can't forget, I did pick up some fabric. I left it there for a while, but nobody picked it up. So I said, well, I'm going to get it then. They had some 7-size cluster in there, and you know how I enjoyed my Prairie Schooler Santa. So pick some more up to add to my stash when I get some more PS Santas done. This one is kind of it's not a real true red, kind of a pinkish red, size 7. And here's like a blue. So I said, of course I'm going to pick up 7 cluster and free. These ones are a little different. I really like the coloring on them. As you can see, that's like a true Christmas green, dark green. But these are not 7, size 7. I know they're smaller. This is red. If anybody's watching this video and was at Stitchnanigans and offered these on the freebie table, let me know. I'd kind of like to know what size they are. They've got to be, I mean, they're probably like 1/2 the size of the 7 ones. If you look real close, you can kind of tell. So I'd be curious to know what they are. I could go up to Shepherd's Bush and ask them too, I guess, see if they have some. But you know, I'd have to do it a little different with these, but I love the red and the green on these, so I took them too. Oh, one more freebie thing. Ashley Golden. I'm not sure what her IG name is. I'm sorry, Ashley. Anyway, she made a whole bunch of free scissor fobs. Just laid them on the table. I love keys. My mom loved keys. So I went ahead and picked up this key one. And I just love it. So Ashley, thanks. Other people picked up these too. Really appreciate it. That's really nice of you. I mean, I make scissor fobs too, but you know, I generally just make them for like gifts or whatever else. I don't just make them up, a whole bunch of them, so to give away. So that's, I think that was really nice of you. Thanks so much. Oh, I also bought, oh wait, let me see. Yeah, I'll do the bought first. I also bought some stitching bags, handmade stitching bags from Jen at Delicious Threads. They're Harry Potter ones. I grabbed them before they were gone. Don't you love it? That's one of Jen's. That's kind of like a medium-sized bag. And then here's a smaller bag to put like your little things in, one with a see-through front of the same fabric. And then she had this other one, which was like Quidditch. Quidditch at Hogwarts. All different Quidditch, like what the broomsticks and the house names and how you do it and all that kind of stuff. So in the plastic, see-through for like a little, for this little floss and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. I want to thank Jen at Delicious Threads for making those and having so many of them available for sale at Stitchnanigans. They had a raffle of a lot of really neat things. I got about $20 worth of tickets. Heather, a confetti stitcher, said that she got that many too. And I kind of just put them in randomly in things. I put more in a couple things that I wanted, which I did not get. But amazingly, I don't know if I was the only one who put one in here. When I first looked, there weren't very many. I don't know if there was any one but mine. But anyway, I only put one in here. But I've heard of these J. Hauptman patterns. And this one was a Christmas one. And even though a lot of it's with foreign language, I just like the look of it. It just, I do like alphabets. I haven't gotten tired of them yet. And I do like the church and the angels and the other stuff in this pattern. I thought it was a cool pattern. So I put my raffle ticket in and I won. So I did win something in the raffle. Okay. What's next? I think I'm going to tell about the gifts, which is what everybody else did, but I'll go through that fast if you guys already got that from the rest of the people who've been at Stitchnanigans. Because up to this point, my things were a little different than everybody else's. But this is what everybody got. McKenna gave us all stitching bags. And inside of them was, of course, a mini Peppy. And I'm going to say this again, but thank you, McKenna. And as I posted on did I post on Facebook? I think I posted on the Facebook page, Stitchnanigans retreat page. I said, I thank you, Mini Peppy thanks you, and we all thank you for a wonderful retreat. Thank you, McKenna. So anyway, we had Mini Peppy. We also had a list of all the YouTube, all the Stitchers, their IG, their Instagram, and their YouTube channel, if they had one, which I'm going to be looking at when I get a chance. And kind sweet Arlene, love her, designed us a pattern, Stitchnanigans 2019. And actually I saw on Instagram somebody had finished it. No, I saw on Facebook somebody had finished theirs. So people are really, really moving. So, and I just realized, I don't think, did I bring over? I don't know if I brought over the needle minder that they made up too. I may have left that on my needle minder thing in the other room. But if I find it here, I'll show it. We also got these these decals. Shows Stitchnanigans, the cactus, and the hoop. And these are by jgsquaredecals.com. And we were able to go through Freebie gift line after, near the end, where McKenna gave us all choice of all kinds of things. So I picked up a green cactus with a little flower. Everybody else was picking up the cactus too, different colors, as a little pin cushion. Oh, this is a little different. This is from Mitch Stitch, Australia girl. She gave us all koalas, which was nice of her. And yes, I must have left my needle minder in on my needle minder wall. But we also got these Ort containers, and I picked up this one. Kind of liked that. And we all got our thread wax. And of course, some of you got different thread wax than this. But I picked the cactus, because everything else I pick is cactus, and I like cactus. So. And like I said, I can't find my crystal, which I hope I find it, and my needle minder is in the other room, and I'm not going to bother getting it, because you guys, most all you guys saw the needle minder anyway, so. Okay, now, just a minute. I had to put things all over the place in piles to try to decide what to show first and to not lose it. And then I'm going, where's my SAG gift? It's got to be here, it's got to be here. Well, I ended up putting it off to this side because I didn't want to mix it up with all of the haul and all of the freebies and everything I got and have it fall down on the ground, or fall down on the floor and stuff. So I stuck it over by my sewing machine. Now, I do not sew like this person sews, even though I have a sewing machine. And I want her to know how much I appreciate it. I freeze up a lot of times when I win things that are really special, and I don't know how to like be emotional. And I just want you to know, Christine, that this is the absolutely most gorgeous thing in the world. I won her Margaret Bag, and I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. I usually never win anything so absolutely perfect in every way, and that's what this is. And any of you that watch all Christine's channel, Stitch All the Things, know what she's done to keep working on this, and how she agonized over this. She has this beautiful piece which says, "Wherever I go, whatever I do, I'm never alone, my stitching comes too." This looks probably very familiar to a lot of you. And she stitched it on the back so that I could have a little part to stick things in. And as she already showed you last week, she slipped in this pattern, which, because she said she didn't, when she put the other stuff in, there really wasn't enough room, which is perfectly fine. She put in all of these goodies, which I think she already showed you pretty much. I hate to go back over everything again, but I'll just show you an overview of everything. The floss rings, the needle, little needle book, the scissor holder, holder for needles, zipper holder for your patterns. It's just exquisitely sewed. These little clasps are just beautiful. And she has, of course, this happy seeing little birds on them, which I really like. They are so cute. But it's perfect in every way. And Christine, I want you to know that I really do love this. I do. I was just probably in shock, and should have come over to you and given you 20 tons of hugs, and I'm sorry for that. But I do appreciate this. In every way, this will be cherished for me on all my stitching life. Thank you so much. The interesting thing about picking this one is I was really concerned because I stuck my SAG gift underneath the table because I don't remember who said it, but somebody was saying, well, just stick them under the table if you brought them already and you don't want to take them back up here to your room and wait till Saturday to bring them back down. So I stuck it under the table. Well, my name was called, I believe, somewhere between 5 and 10. So it was pretty close to the beginning of the calling of the numbers. McKenna's boys called the numbers, and they called my number. And I went up there, and the first thing, all I could think of was, is my bag up here? Because they're not going to have the right amount of bags to give out. You know, they'll have, one person will be missing getting a bag. And I looked all around, and I couldn't find it, and I was starting to freak out. So I bent down and looked underneath the curtains, and it was there. I guess like whoever said they were going to bring it out and put it on the top must not have seen mine. So thank goodness I saw it. So I brought it up and set it there. And I had told Marcy before, I said, I hope that they remember to get it out from underneath. So anyway, I'm just frantically just shoving it up there, just thinking, oh, I hope people don't think I'm taking 2 or 3 things. So in the process, I set it down in the middle and saw this cute bag with these little roses and flowers on it. I go, okay, I'm just taking this. Because I was a little worried that since I took it from underneath that maybe somebody thought I was trying to put one under and stick one on top or whatever. So I just grabbed the bag next to it, which had the roses, and took it back to my seat. And on the way back to the seat, and I sit down and I turned to Marcy and I said, guess what? They did not have my bag up on top of the table. And Marcy goes, oh my goodness, did you get it out? And I said, yes, I did. But I said, I felt really bad because I was afraid somebody was going to think I was taking 2 gifts or something else and everything. So anyway, I'm getting this little look from Christine over on the side, and so I go, really like this bag. I said, it's got like all these pretty roses on it. And I said, I figured I'd just grab it. So I open it up and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm looking at Christine like, and I go, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Again, not as effusively as I probably should have, but I was just in shock, worried about my gift too, and I couldn't believe that I won this gift, this absolutely beautiful gift. Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll cherish it always. And thank you for being a good friend, for talking to me, and when we were at the retreat, when we were discussing things. I appreciate it. we're watched over, aren't we? And we're really loved. And I love you dearly. Thank you so much. I think I'm done with the things I could find. What I couldn't find, I told you about. So that will be the end. I mentioned Lina, I mentioned Stitchnanigans, and I mentioned my sag bag. And so I think the only other thing that I'm going to bring up is, again, thanks, McKenna. Thank you, thank you, thank Peppy, thank your husband, thank your boys, thank Arlene, thank everybody who had anything to do, and I know lots more of you did, but thank you so much for giving of yourself, for helping us in the West have a retreat that we so needed, for wanting that retreat. McKenna, you're beautiful, and love you lots. Thank you so much for doing that, and I'm looking forward to next year, to 2020. So anyway, I'm going to end this now and tell you to remember to look for the beauty everywhere. Look for the beauty on the highway as you're going. Look for the beauty at home. And remember to look for the beauty at the retreats you go to if you have a chance to go to them. And love you all, and happy stitching. Bye.